Hey there, everybody. I'm back with a new update video. Now, in this update video, I guess we could just talk about various aspects of the day. I'm going to start with simply what I ate for both breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Or all three, not both. Both applies too. For breakfast, I had 2 sourdough toasts with 2 eggs on each one. It was pretty good. For lunch, I actually pre-made a salad earlier in the day before leaving for work, which consisted of a spring mix, shredded carrots, sliced strawberries, olive oil, salt, pepper, and I think that's about it. That was all right. Luckily, though, my mom swooped in and helped spice things up with some of the lamb meat we had left over from our Easter meal, as well as this chocolate chip cookie from Panera's from our family friend, which was also very good. She even warmed up black tea in a coffee pot, which kept it nice and warm, which I, of course, had to drink because it was very good. I gotta be honest, for dinner, not much really. I mean, unless you count popcorn, M&Ms, and cranberry juices sufficeable nutrients, then there you go. That was my dinner, technically. At the beginning of the day, I helped out with a few household chores, including bringing a ladder to my mom so she could use that ladder to paint some letters blue at our house before, I left for work. Now, I went to work today from 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. So it was 9 hours, but technically 8, because one of those hours is spent eating lunch. Now, after helping with the ladders, actually before helping with the ladder, not ladders, ladder, she asked me to make sure that our CDs were still working. Luckily, because I'm a physical media preservationist, I own a CD player. So if suddenly something apocalyptic were to happen with the way our digital media is distributed, at least I have solace knowing I will always have those pieces of music and entertainment and art preserved on discs, which is a nice feeling. And we actually did have some CDs that were in need of a checkup to ensure that they weren't scratched or damaged. Otherwise, we would have to throw them out. I was only able to test one, and this was a Tom Petty CD. And I will say it was very nostalgic listening to this because Tom Petty's one of my mom's favorite bands. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, I believe. And she used to listen to that CD all the time, especially after the death of Tom Petty. And I think it was 2017, maybe 2018. I'm not 100% sure. Somewhere in that ballpark, I believe. But you can check me on that. But anyways, yeah, hearing the music, especially after hearing my mom constantly listen to it, was pretty nostalgic, not gonna lie. Now, before I helped with the ladder, I actually studied some art. And I studied this by looking up what is the best way to approach figure drawing. And apparently, there was a YouTube channel. I don't remember the name of it currently, but the YouTube channel recommended gesture is key and breaking things down to their most simplistic lines to nab the gesture. Because at the end of the day, gesture is what gets people's attention and gets people interested in a story. You could have the most realistic anatomy ever portrayed, but if they're not doing something interesting, all of that effort was for naught. So you better believe you need to get your foundations in place. Building an intricate figure without getting foundations in place is a lot like building a house without a foundation at the bottom. Sure, the house might look really nice, but if a storm were to happen or something that could test it, like an earthquake, the thing would all fall apart fairly easily. And you don't want that. So after learning about how important gesture was and how he taught me a special technique of using simplistic lines that amount to C's, S's, or lines, I took that advice to heart, and I was looking for figures to draw based on what was taught in that video. And I did that for 2 minutes per figure for about 10 minutes. So about like 5 figures were ultimately drawn. I plan on pursuing this further tomorrow. Now, of course, it was time for work, and I don't know why, but throughout my first 4 hours, it was just so hectic, and you're being called in for various duties. You have to push the carts, you have to take groceries out to the customers. You need to bag in case you've dealt with all the carts and there's no one in the front end, or maybe you are bagging and there's no one in the front end, but you need to take out the carts, and so it's just you're overwhelmed and you don't know how to. You're basically expected of a lot, and you're only like one person, so it can get kind of chaotic. Is all I'm saying. There was a coworker who was asking me something, or they wanted to ask me something, but I asked if could they take over the check stand bagging so I could do lot, because it was my time to do lot during the hour, and they wanted to say something to me, but I felt inclined to run and get started with lot. And normally I listen to the coworker, but in that instance it was just so much going on and so little time to deal with all of it that I was just overwhelmed, and my response was less than favorable. I did, of course, once the dust settled, go up to the coworker and apologize for that mistreatment. And I said, there's no excuse for what I did, and I am very sorry. And they said it was okay. Yes. Yeah. And pretty standard day. I was mostly quiet today. I didn't really talk a whole lot. Part of me wonders if it's because I'm getting a little more self-conscious about the whole talking thing, because there was one time where I had an interaction with a coworker where they didn't really express it outwardly to me, but I remember they were having a bad day, and I think like I was walking in to start bagging for them, and then they said, "Oh, not this again," or something like that. And yeah, I guess that's an indication that maybe like I like to talk too much to the customers. And I don't know if it's in my head, but I think I've overheard some people say, like, they go, this guy goes on and on, but maybe they're talking unrelated and it's all just in my head and I'm not, like, I'm just being too in my head about it, like I'm, like, being too projectory, I guess you could say, instead of just, like, keeping to myself and they keep to themselves and then we do a thing. And I don't know. You never should worry about what other people think or say about you. You should just do your own thing and let them do theirs and let that be that. And even if they do say stuff about you, then you shouldn't, like, be too, like, bothered by it because, it's their opinion. And that's what they think. And that's what they think. There you go. So anyways, yeah. What was I going on about? Oh, I think something about worrying too much about what others think and then just letting go of that and just stop getting in my own head about things. And it's not about you, it's about, everyone around and all that stuff. Yeah. Well, anyways, I've rambled on enough about that. Yeah, I went to lunch, came back. There was like a cute dog I remember. It looked like a baby pit bull. Super friendly. That was a nice dog. Really liked that dog. And anything else worthy of noting? It was a really hectic end to the day, really busy night. I got out at 9. They didn't have an 8 or a 10 o'clock scheduled for that night. So we were understaffed. And what that meant was that, like, normally you're expected to, like, do closing chores and then when you're done with them, you're done. But you also need to upkeep with the shop in the front with customers coming in and bagging for them. And the thing is that it was so busy and I had things I needed to do on the checklist, and I couldn't be everywhere once. And also, like, I was expected to also push carts. Luckily though, my coworker was really cool about it. He pushed the carts outside, so that was awesome of him. I like that. So I could focus on doing what I had to do, and which was great. Yeah. Well, I said goodbye to all of my coworkers that were still there. It was only 2 checkers, one of them being a manager, really cool, chill guy, by the way. And the other one's a really cool dude as well. I give them both a big thumbs up. Oh yeah. And yeah, I also give my coworker another thumbs up too, because he helped me in my time of need. Oh yeah. Yeah. So also he's a really cool dude as well. And yeah, I punched out, said goodbye to everybody, drove home, and when I got to home, it was yeah, it was nice. My mom and our family friend were watching TV. They want to know if I was interested in watching something. I said sure. We watched an episode of Columbo, the season 2, episode 8, season finale, which was pretty interesting. It was like 2 twin brothers who conspired. Oh wait, well maybe. Well, I mean, this is like an old show, but I don't want to give anything away. All I'm going to say is that was another really entertaining and fun episode. My favorite aspect of the show is seeing all the pieces come together and seeing Columbo figure it all out and then finally launch his plan of attack once he has indisputable proof and evidence of what's really going on. That's a lot of fun. Afterwards, I decided to watch a documentary about quantum physics, quantum fields, and how traditional computing of ones and zeros is very binary, and the way normal machines work is basically just that, they're machines, they're like puppets for our means to interact with the reality around us, but they could never replace us because we are like an organic being that represents a true view of reality. And it was like this computer scientist who was talking about like how people think that consciousness ends at chemical reactions happening in the brain and neurons firing, but no one really asks like why. Like they just look at, oh, that's what that does, instead of, because that's easy to explain, that's easy to put in a neat little box. But what this computer scientist was talking about in this little documentary thing I was watching was that quantum physics and quantum mechanics kind of reveal reality in a whole new dimension, because it's giving us more of a more credit as living beings, humans, to how they experience and get in touch with their reality. That unlocks um, the key to understanding reality, and how, like, he suggests that our bodies are simply just vessels that our consciousness uses to experience the world in this reality state. And then he says once like we die, our consciousness leaves the this body and goes into like infinite conscience field. It was pretty interesting, and I haven't heard a scientist bring that theory up before, but it sounds compelling, that's for sure. Afterwards, I played some Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I forgot how fun that game is. It's actually quite enjoyable. I love how like there's surprises at every turn, and especially helps if you haven't played the original Breath of the Wild in a long time, or this game in a long time for that matter, and so your brain kind of forgot everything, and so when you go back to play it again, it's like re-experiencing it for the first time, which is really cool. Um, yeah, the puzzles I wouldn't say are like the most mind bending thing ever, but for what it is, it's a really satisfying and fun and chill, relaxing experience. Then I jumped out of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom and was playing a game called Another Crab's Treasure, which is basically a Souls like game, but you're a cartoon crab, a hermit crab trying to get his shell back. Um, pretty chill game. I love the soundtrack. It's got an awesome soundtrack. Whoever made the music for that game, mwah, chef's kiss. Love it. Very relaxing, very chill, very therapeutic. And even the battle music's like, unless it's like really intense battle music, of course they want you to feel intense during those moments. But when it's just perusing around like the overworld, or the just world you're interacting with, it's a really relaxing, nice time. I love it. Afterwards, well, actually, before I played the games, I took my vitamins and then started playing the games, including B12, which I hear is actually something you should take every day. But we'll see how that works out. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I'll take every other of my vitamins in for the day. Yeah. My fish oil, my multivitamin, my two cinnamon pills, my one turmeric pill, two magnesium pills, um, and a calcium pill. Yeah, I'll take those. Vitamin B12, we'll see how that works out. Well, all right. After playing those games, I had decided it would be a good idea to record the update for the day, which is what you are watching now. After I'm done recording this, I will be brushing my teeth and going to sleep. It is currently 1:27 in the morning. Thank you for listening and have yourselves a great night. Take care, everybody.